Welcome back to the Franco and Friends YouTube channel. My name is Mark. On this channel, we talk all about autism. And in today's video, we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about autism and haircuts. And more specifically, we're going to discuss 5 steps that you can take to help your autistic child throughout the haircutting process. So stick around. All right, fam, welcome back to the channel. Like I said, in today's video, we're going to talk all about autism and haircuts. But before we do that, we have 2 quick things to discuss. Number 1, I am not a doctor or a medical professional. Nothing I say should be taken as medical or professional advice. All I'm doing is sharing our journey with you. So make sure you do your own research first. And then number 2, on this channel, we have what I like to call the agreement or the buddy system. And all that is that we agree that if you watch my videos and you want to watch them all for free because you're getting value from them, all as I ask, right? We're going to shake on it. All I ask is that you subscribe to the channel. That's it. It's quick, it's easy, and best of all, it is free. All right, now let's dive into the video and let's talk all about autism and haircuts. As you know, haircuts can be super stressful for so many of our autistic children, especially if your child struggles with sensory issues. But with the right preparation and support, you can help make it a more positive experience for both you and your autistic child. So let's dive in and let's talk about 5 steps that you can take to help support your autistic child throughout the process. Number 1, begin with a familiar place. So if possible, you want to choose a salon or a barber that your child is already familiar with, because by doing this, it's going to help your child to feel more comfortable and reduce the stress of the experience. But if your child has never had a haircut before, then you may want to consider starting with a trial run, where you actually bring your child to the place that they'll be getting their haircut, because this will help them get used to the environment as well as the process. And if possible, maybe your child can even meet the person that's going to be cutting their hair. And then number 2, you want to prepare your child ahead of time for the experience. I believe that preparation is key for so many of our autistic children. Now, you can do this a few different ways. Generally speaking, you're going to want to use a combination of visuals, such as pictures, videos, and social stories, to help your autistic child understand the haircutting process as well as the tools being used. And you can also just talk to your child about the experience, right? From what to expect, from the sounds of the scissors and the clippers to the sensations of the hair being cut. Generally speaking, the more preparation and the more information, the better for most of our children. But not all, right? Not all of our children do better with more preparation. For some of our children, they may do better without the preparation, and they may prefer to just be surprised and have no preparation, because what can happen is if you do all the preparation ahead of time, leading up to that, your child may really struggle and be really anxious about the experience, and then you can't even get them to go and do the haircut because they're so anxious about the overall experience. So only you know your child. You know your child better than anyone else. So you're going to know what's going to work best for your child. And if at the moment you don't actually know what your child prefers, that's totally fine. It's going to be a feeling out process and a little bit of trial and error. But over time, you'll be able to curate a system that works for your child. And if you really want to try to supercharge the preparation and take it to the next level, what you can do is you can combine steps 1 and 2. And when you bring your child for the practice run, what you can do is you can take pictures and videos and you can continuously show those to your child for the weeks or the days leading up to the appointment. Number 3, support your child's sensory needs. Many of our autistic children struggle with sensory issues, and they're very sensitive to touch and sounds. And the sensation of the haircut can be very overwhelming for many of our children. So you may want to consider bringing a favorite toy or a comfort item to help distract and comfort them during the process. And you can also bring a weighted blanket or use deep pressure to help them feel more comfortable. And for the children that are very sensitive to sounds and generally utilize noise-canceling headphones, you may want to look into earplugs. I've actually heard of parents using earplugs because a lot of the times, like I said, their children will use noise-canceling headphones in loud environments. But in this situation, it would be kind of difficult to use noise-canceling headphones during the haircutting process. So instead of using the noise-canceling headphones, they'll use the earplugs. So that's something you may want to look into. Number 4, you want to communicate with the stylist in advance. I believe that this is a huge one for everyone involved. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to educate the stylist about autism. And you're also going to want to make sure to communicate your child's needs and preferences beforehand, because I believe that educating the stylist ahead of time will help make the process much smoother for everyone involved. And this will also help the stylist to understand how to approach the cut in a way that works best for your child. Number 5, use rewards and positive reinforcement. Now, this one has been a huge one for my son. And generally speaking, the way that we do it is we allow Franco to choose what he wants to earn, right? What is he working for? And usually for him, his favorite thing at the moment right now is dancing toys, dancing, singing toys. And what we do is we tell him that if he does great, that's what he's going to earn. So throughout the haircutting process, we'll continue to talk to him about the toy, how awesome it's going to be, and how exciting it's going to be once he actually gets the toy. And if things get tough during the process, what we'll do is we'll pull out the cell phone and remind him of what he's working for. And we'll show him the pictures, we'll show him videos, and that'll kind of keep him distracted throughout the process. And another thing that positive reinforcement and utilizing rewards does, it helps to build a positive association with haircuts, and it will help to make future haircuts a lot easier and a lot less stressful. So in conclusion, getting a haircut can be a daunting experience for many of our autistic children, but with the right preparation and support, we can make it a little less stressful, and maybe, just maybe, we can turn it into a positive experience. So to quickly summarize the 5 steps to help your autistic child throughout the haircutting process, we have number 1, start with a familiar place. Number 2, prepare your child ahead of time. Number 3, we have support your child's sensory needs. Number 4, we have communicate with the stylist before the haircut. Number 5, provide positive reinforcement throughout the entire process. Now, one last thing to keep in mind is that every child is very different. I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but remember, what works for one child may not work for another, and it may be a kind of trial and error process for your child. And again, if you don't know what works best for your child right now, that is completely fine. That's completely fine. Use these tips, use these steps, take the ones that work and subtract the ones that don't. And then over time, you'll curate a system that works best for your child. But by following these steps, hopefully it helps to make haircuts less stressful and more manageable for both you and your autistic child. Now, before I let you go, because you're watching this video and because the odds are you are the parent of an autistic child, and if you're anything like me, you've tried all the traditional autism therapies out there, but you're just not satisfied. You know that your autistic child has so much more potential inside of them. You just need to figure out how to pull it out of them. And that's why I want to share with you the Franco and Friends Autism Academy. We have everything that you need to feel confident supporting your autistic child. We have biomedical treatments. We have IEP meeting prep. We have sleep courses, potty training courses, mindset courses, holiday resources, and so much more. Now, I want to be extremely clear that nothing in the community is meant to be taken as medical or professional advice. We're just a community of people rising up together and sharing knowledge and information so that we can grow together and help our children thrive and not just survive. So I want to share that with you. And if you're ready to learn more about it, click the link below this video and you can experience the Franco and Friends Autism Academy risk-free for 7 days. All you have to lose is progress.